Alright, welcome back to the part 24 of the Bugatti Bolide design in SolidWorks. And in this tutorial, we're gonna go over and then fix these back ribs here. And if you look at the picture here, we can see that it should look like something like this. So we're gonna work on that. Alright, and then once we finish that, we're gonna probably create the windshield. And then once we have the windshield, we're gonna come all the way back and then create all the top part now. Okay, so we got a mirror here I want to get rid of, right? So I want to get rid of these mirrors because I'm going to fix up these two here and I'm going to mirror it over. So let's delete mirror 21. No, not this one. So let's delete mirror 21 without any issues, hopefully. It's probably gonna ask for to delete the fillets as well. No, it didn't, so it's good. It deleted it on its own. Okay, so that's good. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on this surface here and make a sketch on this surface, and then we're going to jump to the side view here real quick. And of course, what I want to do is I kind of want to follow this line here. So okay, so let's follow that line, and then let's grab a spline here. And I'm gonna grab the spline from this point, and I'm going to bring it down to about here. Okay, and I'm going to give this spline a little bit of profile, of course, as always. Something like that. All right, and then I'm just gonna grab a line here, and I'm gonna pull them out to here like that, and I'm gonna do a extruded cut, right? So just gonna cut that part. Okay, so let's cut that one, and then yeah, so just want to come back here and edit the sketch a little bit more because I want to be kind of perpendicular with this line here. So I want to edit this sketch, so let's edit that sketch. So let's jump back into the side view here, and I want to move this a little bit further in, about that much. And of course, let's fix up that curvature right there. Let's exit the sketch. And now it looks a lot better. Let's add a fillet on that corner over here. Let's see that fillet there, and let's add another fillet over here. And of course, let's just do 5. Let's just do 5 and see how that looks. Okay, so 5 looks pretty good. And that's exactly what I had in mind. Let's just have a look at this picture. Yeah, so we have to kind of cut down to here in this direction as well. So let's go back in here in this face, and then we're gonna come from here, right? So let's grab a simple line, and then we're gonna come make the sketch from that point, and we're gonna cut down something like that down to that point there. Okay, exit the sketch. Okay, and then let's grab a line and then bring that up to here, and let's have a look let's look at this sketch from the side, how it looks. All right, so it's not cutting into anything, so it's going to be all right. So let's go to features now and do our cut extrude, and then cut that piece out from there. Okay, and then now we're going to add a fillet on that corner over here, and let's have a look at that one. Okay, all right, so that's a lot better now, looks a lot better. So the same thing we're going to do on this side as well. So the first cut I'm going to make is going to be from this point to this point here. So let's make a sketch on this face, and then of course we're gonna jump into this side view here, and then let's grab a line, and I want to grab it from this corner. I'm gonna cut it. I want to be perpendicular, you know, perpendicular as much as possible with that one when I do that cut. So if I do the cut to down to about here, then that's going to be perpendicular with that one. So let's do it to over there, about that much, and just bring it up, and then connect these 2 points here. And let's have a look from the side. Let's jump to the side view here and see if we're not cutting into anything, and we won't be. All right, so let's just do two features and do a correct extrude here, and that correct extrude is going there. So let's pull it back a bit. Okay, so it's face to face. Press OK. All right, so that looks good. We can patch that up. All right, so the next cut is going to be this cut here. We're going to go after this one. So let's make another sketch on this face, and then no more to. Let's jump into this view here, and we're gonna go perpendicular to this line again, of course, and we're just going to grab that spline, and I want to get on this corner here. Actually, that's it. I want to get on that corner. I want to get on that corner there. Okay, and then I want to be perpendicular with this line here. Right? So I'm just gonna cut it down something like that. Exit the sketch, and we're going to give this line a profile, this curvature, something like that. Okay, let's grab this line here and then connect it to this point. All right, so let's go to features now and do a correct extrude. All right, and then press OK. Okay, and then now we're just going to add our fillets. So let's go and add our fillets. Let's add one fillet here and one fillet on the bottom. Let's just add to the top one first, and set that to 7 or 6. Okay, and then do another fillet on the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to leave that as 6 as well. All right, so that looks a lot better than before, and that's exactly how on the picture is, and then we will fix this once we mirror this over. However, I think maybe we could, no, actually I like it this way. I mean, it kind of looked like it's coming out a little bit more, but it's actually perpendicular with that one, so that's how I actually should be. I like it this way. Okay, so let's do a mirror now. Let's mirror this over, and the mirror plane is going to be the front one, of course, and then bodies to mirror. Instead, let's do features to mirror, clear selection, and let's do this one here, and then this one here, and then press OK. So yes, these mirrors here, let's have a look at those mirrors, because I did delete those mirrors, right? Oh, yeah, no, actually, yeah, these are the mirrors, but we have to delete mirror over the fillets. Right, okay, so let's try to do that, and then let's use the front plane here, and then for clear selections, let's mirror over the cuts and also the fillets as well. Okay, so press OK. Okay, so we need to add these ones as well. All right, so press OK now. Okay, so it's giving us a rebuild error. Okay, so let's do it differently then. Let's delete this mirror here. Okay, and let's do that again. All right, so let's go to mirror face plane, the front plane, and then futures to mirror. We're going to do all that. And then this got this one, and the fillet, and the body as well. Okay, press OK. Perfect. All right, so this is exactly how we wanted it. All right, so let's fix now this part here. Let's have a look at the picture again. So as we can see, it comes down in an angle like here, and then following these directions, right? Okay, so we do have that angle already. We do have that angle, so all we have to do is we have to cut down and then kind of follow this pattern here, this to get it perpendicular, right? So let's make a sketch on this face, and then normal to profile. Okay, and then let's grab a spline, and we're gonna go from here, and then we're gonna try to stay perpendicular with that one right there, and we're gonna come to this edge right here. Press exit, and then we're going to click on this line and pull this out just a little bit like that, and then we're going to press the line and then bring it up to here. Okay, let's do a cut extrude. All right, that's good. And now let's do a fillet on them as well. So we're gonna stay with maybe not 6, let's try 4. Okay, and then 4. Okay, 4 looks good. So 4 looks good all the way good around. All right. All right, so these are the ribs that we were after. All right, so let's go on now and create the windshield once we add some chamfer on these edges. Okay, so let's try just one here first on this corner. Let's see if we can add it to both sides. All right. And let's see if we can add it to the mirror parts as well. Both edges. Okay, press OK. All right, that looks good. And that's exactly the body that we were looking for. All right. There's one more thing I want to try. I want to add a fillet, probably in this corner here, and I want to try just one on these edges here, and it will give us the fillets on them. So that's good. So let's try that on all edges. Let's do the mirrored one after. So press OK for here. Okay, so these fillets look good on them. And let's add the fillets now on the middle section. And that will not do it. So let's try here 0.1, 0.5 actually. So it will not give us the fillet on the midsection, the middle one. Okay, so Let's try add the fillets on this one. We will try face fillet on that one. So let's go with one on these corners. And this one here. Press OK. Okay, that looks good. And now let's take out the edges. See how they look. They look beautiful. All right, so these are the ribs that we were after. However, I think I want to add more of a fillet on the lower section here, maybe. Let's have a look. No, actually good. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, let's bring back the edges here. All right, and let's see how much time we have. We still have time. All right, so let's create the windshield at this point. So what I want to do is I want to get a line in the middle line here following these edges here to start our windshield. Obviously we're going to have a surface that kind of comes up in like that way, but first the windshield needs to be straight, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to create a sketch on the front plane, okay, and then we're going to convert this edge here. Press OK, and that drops a perfect line, perpendicular line right in the midsection. All right, so exit the sketch. And if you've been following my tutorial from step by step the way I'm doing it, you should have all the edges and corners that I'm having, so you shouldn't have any problems. So let's go to sketches now and then click on 3D sketch, grab that curve and then drop it on this corner here, so until you see the black dot right here. All right, so now I'm just gonna jump on the top here, and then we're going to pull this down in that direction. And then what I want to do is I want to click on this edge here, hold control and then line, and then I want to add tangency on that one. Okay, and then I want to pull this line to about here and click on this control point here, and I want to fix that along the z-axis. Okay, and I want to pull in here closely and just want to pull it out until we're nice and close to that cut right there. Something like that, and that makes it perfect. Okay, and that's not finished yet, because we're going to bring this line, going to continue this line all the way to this line here, this point here, which is actually a plane, our front plane. All right, so let's jump to the top. And let's grab another spline here, and then we're going to click on this point first, and then we're just going to follow this edge here. And as I said before, we're going to come all the way to that point, that line right there, right here. Okay, and we just double check our line. It looks good. Okay, so that creates our first curvature here. Now what we want is exit the sketch, and then we're going to create the curvature for the windshield, right? So to do that, we're going to jump over to our first display state, and then we're going to make a sketch on the front plane, and press space bar, and then bring the space bar actually brings up this axis box or view box or whatever you want to call it, and the point that we're going to step onto for starting is going to be this point here, and we're going to come all the way up into here, this point, right? So let's grab that 3D spline. Now it's actually a normal spline, it's not a 3D, it's a 2D sketch, because we're sketching on the front plane. So let's click on, let's snap on this point here, and then we're going to be coming up to this point here. To about here. We're gonna come up to this point here, exit the sketch, and then we're going to pull this line up to here, about like that. Have a nice curvature on that one. Exit the sketch. All right, and then let's jump over to a second display state, and then let's connect these 2 points here. All right, so let's grab a 3D sketch, 3D spline, and then let's connect this point with this point here. Okay, and then we're going to jump into the front view, jump back into our first display state, so we can see the edges over our windshield. Put it up to here. I want to add a spline point over here, so let's add the spline point about there, and then let's click on this line and add our control polygon. All right, so let's create some kind of a little bit of corner here. Bring this up over here like that, and we can always come back and adjust this curvature. Okay, and let's have a look at from the side. All right, let's just move this line somewhat straight here. Okay, and let's jump into the front view and fix up if we changed anything too much. So let's pull this back up here, and that one over here, and let's go back to the side and have a look at the spline again, and it looks good. All right, so at this point, let's jump into our second display state, and we will cut down from this windshield, of course, and exit the sketch, and let's have a look what we can do with these sketches. So let's go to surfaces and just do a filled surface and press OK. Okay, so we have a nice corner here, and then a nice windshield all the way out. Okay, and then what I want to do is mirror it over to the other side. So let's grab onto the front plane as a mirror face plane, and we're going to mirror over body. So let's mirror over this body. Okay, and let's go to our appearances and remove some of the appearance. Dark gray plastic, remove that one as well. And let's jump into plain white so we can see things a lot better. Let's take us these edges here, simple shaded, and we can see that we have a corner there, and we're going to get rid of that one by making a sketch on this front plane. And then let's go and grab a center rectangle and pull it out about this much. Right, exit this sketch. Let's go to surfaces and trim surface, and let's trim out these intersections here. Okay, let's go to boundary surface and select these edges here, and let's add tangency to face on this one and tangency to face on this one, and that will contact almost on that one. So now if you look at our windshield, right? Right, so I'm pretty happy with that windshield. Um, yeah, that's a good looking windshield. It will be still getting some, maybe we can come in here and add some additional control curves. Or maybe we can just adjust this curve a little bit more. Edit the sketch. And give it more of a profile. Exit. And now that just added too much profile. It created a bump over on that section. So let's do a Control Z on that. Control Z on that adjustment. And exit the sketch. All right, so it's not a bad windshield. It's actually curving very nice, but let's jump over to our first display state and have a look. All right, so we kind of lost some curvature here, and that's my concern, right? 27, right? So let's jump back down here and boundary surface, delete that, and then surface trim, delete the surface trim, and then delete the sketch, delete the mirror. Okay, and so jump back into our view. Now we have our curvature. So what we need to fix is this curvature here. Edit the sketch. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on this line and we're going to fix that along the Z axis. Okay, exit the sketch. And that's what I should have done in the beginning. Let's jump over to our second display state, and now let's mirror it over. Features, mirror, and then front plane for mirror, and bodies to mirror is going to be this one here. Right, so I think it's going to look a lot better now. If we go to our top plane here, make a sketch on that, and we're going to cut some out, about that much, and then surfaces, trim surface. Let's trim out these two places. Okay, and then now let's go to boundary surface and then select these two edges here. And this time let's select curvature to face. Press OK. Let's go back in here, edit that feature. And let's just do tangency to face, right? Tangency to face. Okay, so it still creates that bump in the middle of the windshield, but this is something that we're going to come back in the next tutorial, and then we're going to fix this windshield. So let's have a look at this windshield from this side. We almost were close to that curvature here, but I want to get perfect on that curvature, obviously. Okay, so let's jump into a second display state, and then I want to thank you for staying with me in this tutorial, and I'm going to see you back in the next tutorial. All right, thanks very much. Bye bye.